cheer from the volunteers on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Talvir, so tell us a little bit about your transition from public to private school. You know, you're fortunate that your parents were able to, you know, with the sacrifices that they made to take you from public school to private school to a setting where they thought your skills will be more enhanced. But for those who cannot afford it, for those who this transition may be hard for, what do you recommend for them?
So my transition, I mean, the only differences I noticed is like you have a little bit more support academically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's more programs available after school. You can stay after school for 2 hours and have tutorials with the teachers,
Mm-hmm.
which you'll have in university. You know,
Yeah.
at night they're offering them to us there, and they have a late bus that used to take us back after.
Oh, wow,
So,
okay.
I mean, the support in that way. There's a lot of support academically, and the classes are much smaller. My graduating class was 32 kids.
Oh, wow.
And I know on average in Surrey now you go to like North Delta or you go to Chemanos and the graduating classes are anywhere from like 300 to 500 kids.
Can I tell you a little something? My grandpa, he fell asleep during my graduation because
Well,
my
there
last
you
name
go.
is Tour.
Yeah.
So T is like
Right at the
way
end.
far down. So the guy went home for a walk. He came back, took a little nap, and by that time it was ready for me to graduate. So yeah,
Sounds
these
about
are
right. Like
yeah.
it's, and I think that's the only difference. I mean, you know, if you're gonna get involved in stuff like I said, you'll get involved anywhere you are.
100%.
The only benefit this will have is, you know, there's a little bit more academic support. Parents are a little bit more involved with kids in schools like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the teachers are a lot more helpful. They're willing to stay after school, but
Because in a sense, you know, in our education system, and that's something I think requires a lot of changes. We've been through this education system.
yeah,
And of course there's different policies and whatnot in place, but
yeah,
it's very difficult for public school teachers. And for someone like me who tutors these kids, I can understand where these teachers come from and where these,
Mhm.
you know, because the lack of support as well. And that's
yeah. Because
something,
I mean, the classes are so big, right? Like,
they're
I mean,
so big,
it's-
yeah,
What can they do?
exactly.
They're teaching hundreds of kids,
Yeah.
right? And so, and it's tough, and I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully changes will come because, you know, that's where we build our foundation.
Mhm.
And you need the support, you need the guidance. Not everybody can go home and get tutored. Not everybody can afford,
Exactly.
you know, to get that extracurricular.
Yeah.
But that this is a public school system where you sort of kind of rely on
Yeah.
that this is where my child will be able to get what they need
Yeah.
because it's difficult for parents to afford it otherwise.
Mhm.
That being said, I mean, I had some of the most passionate teachers. I remember my grade 10 science teacher. He was just amazing.
Mhm.
The way he taught, his passion for teaching,
Yeah.
helping his students, and I've had many teachers on the way like that. But I think you can relate to it, and so, like you said, it doesn't matter where you go. You want to fit in. You belong. You want to belong. And
Mhm.
sometimes when you're not guided properly, or you don't have that guidance, whether it's at home or at school, you can gear towards
Yeah.
a, you know, not so great path.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So maybe touch upon a little bit about when you became a police officer, and you know, like we talked about the pressures and the things you had to do, and even now, how long have you been in the department for?
2.5 years now.
Wow, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So
Still super new.
yeah,
little junior.
junior. You'll always be junior. But you know, from what about the skill set that you got from volunteering? From just like you said, you know, you want to go out there, you want to meet people, you want to learn from them. You have to have people's skills. So, what did volunteering, running programs, because you used to run programs
Yeah.
before you got in. So, how did that sort of affect, or how did that help you?
Just like you said, people skills, right? It helps you become a little bit more confident talking, putting things together, and putting these events together is a lot, right? You gotta make
Yes,
sure,
it is.
especially like the forums that we're doing, and we need keynote speakers, and
Yeah.
they all gotta get get to one spot on the same day, and they all have busy schedules.
We have to
and,
do all of that, yeah.
Yeah, just reaching out to them and talking to them, and then talking to volunteers who have questions. Like I get a lot of messages on Instagram, just questions regarding working out, regarding policing, what I did, and it's just it helps in the communication.
Yeah, definitely. So you talk about kids getting messaging you. You know, I know a lot of our members have questions about your games, and you know, like you said, you met Cal. Were you always like this, or when did this start? And when did your passion start for fitness?
I grew up playing sports. I used to play soccer, and then I broke my wrist playing soccer. I think when I was like 16.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, oh, like I'll start wrestling because my little cousin was wrestling, and I wrestled for a couple years just for fun. So I always tried to stay active and doing things. And then in 2014 is when I started working out. 2014 is like in January is when I joined the gym for the first time.
Oh, you remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was platinum.
It was platinum?
Still there. Still there, but I joined in 2014.
2014 January. So that's where you're sort of, you know, that's where you started going to the gym and started working towards your goal, towards becoming a police officer. And what about your routine? Like how do you maintain that type of lifestyle?
I think it's very important, especially for like the type of career that we do, that you're fit and you're able to, you know, take care of yourself. For me personally, like I know a lot of people, you know, they like to go have a drink and talk to people. And that's their way after work to decompress, if I should say. I don't. I finish my 12 hours. I come home and take care of my dog, and then I go to the gym for 2 hours. Come home, sleep, and wake up after 6 hours and go back to work. But that's just something I do, and I'm fine with 6 hours of sleep, and I feel good and I feel healthy. But going to the gym is like an escape for me. It's my own zone. I put headphones on, and I work out, and I decompress like that. And you talk to people at the gym. I've been going to the gym for so long. You build so many new friendships there.
Yeah.
So.
Friendships. Talk about.
What's so funny about that, Karen?
You know, because I remember us teasing you about your friendships that you had at the gym, and.
How's that funny?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Enlighten me.
Enlighten?
Yes.
Wow, okay. Do you want me to say it?
Sure.
Oh, we'll save it for the next podcast. How about that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No,
okay, but
you're going to kill me, Cal's going to kill me. I mean, what's the point? I'll just save it for the next one.
No, you know, gym's a good... it's like my little social hub. Like, I like going there. You know, everyone's kind of there for the same purpose and same goals. So everyone gets along really well, which is nice.
Yeah.
My dad goes there.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Do you guys ever get to work out together?
No, he always works with his friend.
He doesn't want to work out with you.
We go at different times.
I wouldn't want to work out with you either.
No?
No. I'm just kidding. We'll see. We used to work out together.
Yeah.
But
And I remember you were saying something about ringing the bell?
I don't know what you're talking about. I was never going to ring the bell. Let's get one fact straight. But there was a bell during boot camp, and Cal used to tell us about if we want to quit, then there's the bell, and you walk out, and you don't come back. And something funny happened a couple weeks ago. Since quarantines happened, we all work out at home. And we have a freezer at home in the garage. And there's a little bell, the bell sort of a thing, right next to it. My brother said the other day, he goes, "Do you want to ring the bell?" And it brought back, because it's hard to work out, you know, especially in that sort of environment. And he goes, "Do you want to ring the bell?" And it brought back all those memories. But yeah, bell signifies a lot, and I think we hold on to that, you know, especially when it comes to the pressures we have with the organization, because not everybody knows we've all been volunteers for the last 5 years. You know, right now, the person recording this podcast, for example, is a volunteer. Me, shout out to MSD Photography.
Give him a follow.
Yeah, give him a follow. But, you know, everybody's so dedicated because everybody has a story. You know, we all, in one way or the other, we all want to belong. And we have this positive platform which we've been provided, and we're able to come here and call this our home, our families. And so I think it's only fair if we get out there, we spread this message, and we let people know, hey, you can come out here. You can call us for help, whatever you may need. You touched upon the belongingness of it all. In high school, you want to belong. You want to be a part of a group. But our programs, we've started actually in elementary schools. You've been a part of few.
Yeah,
And
the mentorship programs.
the mentorship programs. And I think that's where we can kind of connect with the kids and show them a more positive path. Like KidsPlay is just one organization that's trying to do this.
Oh yeah, there's so many, and like it doesn't matter if you're with KidsPlay or with any other organizations, as long as you're out there trying to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Right. So there's tons people can look into it, but I mean, it's definitely like Karen said, it's like a family.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you become a family through thick and thin. Whatever you're going through, you can count on one another to be there for you. There's been many instances in my life where I've been through a few things, especially in the last 5 years, and I know I can count on you guys for the support and have that person to sort of call and say, hey, I need this, or we need help here, or whatever it may be. I mean, sometimes we've had, for example, this year, unfortunately, we couldn't do Vasaki due to everything going on, but every year, Vasaki float, we're there all night long.
setting up yep.
all night long. No one's complaining, everybody's having a good time, but at the end of the day, we're there as a family. And so taking it to that point where we spend nights and nights, that float that we decorate to take into our Vasaki parade, like things like that, they really bring the team together.
Yeah.
Those are team building exercises. At the same time, you're making a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
In the past couple of years, we've walked the entire Nagar Kirtan, and from morning to night, and by the end of the Nagar Kirtan, I'm so out of it that I don't even know what you guys are telling me. Because you haven't slept the night before, the day is just so hard, and then by the end of it all, you're just at a point where you just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think, is there anything you want to tell the audience? There's a lot of kids watching. A lot of them know that you'd be coming onto this podcast. A lot of them aspiring to be police officers in the future. What would you like to tell them?
Just stay focused, right? And keep coming out, or wherever you're going, keep going where you're going. Stay focused in school, stay out of trouble, and you'll get to the right path eventually. And I mean, like Karen said, we're a family here. You guys have questions, you guys can ask us. You can come to our events. We're always there. Always willing to speak to you about anything.
Yeah.
Right. Whether that's a problem you're having at home, problem you're having at school, we can always help you with solutions. So.
Yeah. And if we cannot help you, we'll guide you to somebody who can. But we promise we will take that phone call. We will answer that email. Whatever it takes, reach out. You're not in this alone. We all have a story. We all go through difficult times. But you should have a sense of family around you that can support you. And we're ready to be that family for anybody in need.